The world-renowned Asia Talent Cup returns for an exciting 5th season in 2018. 19 riders on the grid here at the Qatar. This is race 1 from round 1. Highlights coming to you from yesterday, the first race of the weekend. And what a start it was. Not quite so much of a chaotic start as we were perhaps expecting, although that was an early faller there. It was the man from pole, Agung Fakhrul, who had to start from the back of the grid, as we saw number 17 nearly wipe out half the field in one turn, making us wince all the way through there. It was a battle all the way to the line between Haruki Noguchi and Mario Aji, Super Mario from Indonesia, the sensation, the 14-year-old. We were absolutely not quite expecting him to be up there straight as so quick, although he was one of the most fastest riders in testing. It was a battle all the way to the line. We were on the edge of our seats throughout. We even put our mouths over our microphones, gasping as they got a little bit too close. Not one of the riders wanting the other one to get involved and stay out front. As we go to the line, so close, split by 0.034 seconds. What a race that was to kick us off. This is race 2. Welcome to the Losail International Circuit from Qatar. It's round 1 of the MotoGP World Championship, and alongside it here we have the Idemitsu Asia Talent Cup. My name is Matt Dunn, alongside me Fran Wild. We very nearly had Matt Burt, MotoGP commentator, coming in as well, but not quite, not yet. It's 26 degrees air temperature outside, 40 degrees track temperature, as you can see from the graphics on the screen. Not quite as scintillatingly hot as it was yesterday. You can see from the flag on your screen there, a lot windier here as well. But fortunately, unlike yesterday, there is no sandstorm around. The track conditions, well, a bit of an unknown for these riders. They're the first riders out on track today. Fran, what are we expecting from this race? There's your pole man, Agung Fakhrul. Hopefully he actually gets to start from pole today.
Yeah, exactly. Like you say, yesterday he had to start from the back, which is a bit of early heart rate for him in his campaign. But, I mean, yesterday we had the other two guys on the front row dueling it all the way to the line. But today I think there's a couple more riders hoping to stay with them. So it should be an interesting challenge again. And obviously, like you say, it's a very different time of day they're racing today, but the temperature is significantly cooler anyway today, so that will be interesting. Yeah,
it won't just be the riders thanking it because of the levels of grip out on track, but I guess also it'll be a lot less, well, slightly less physical work for them. There's Mario Aji, one of the sensations from yesterday, the very young Indonesian rider, giving Haruki Noguchi the best he had all the way to the line. What a race that was. Cannot wait for more today. There is Haruki Noguchi, ready to go. Last year's runner-up, just missed out on the title to young Dennis Onsu. He really is the favourite coming into the whole series this year. Fran, well, just exactly what we were expecting given the testing results.
Exactly. Given, you know, the guys in testing, the 3 guys in testing were exactly the same as on the podium yesterday. But I think what was really interesting is that Noguchi didn't really have that much of an advantage on the timesheets. And Sho Nishimura, he made an amazing breakaway once he was out of the group and managed to chase them down a little bit in front. So he'll be hoping to really get going a bit sooner and stay with them, hopefully, in this race today.
And there's Jack Miller on pit wall, getting a look at some of the talent of the future. This is the very beginning of the road to MotoGP. And of course, this year we do have Takaki Nakagami, the Japanese rider, a rookie in the MotoGP class, riding on an Idemitsu shod Honda. So a perfect example for these young riders to aspire to. And what better way to kick their road to MotoGP campaigns underway with Taka in pit lane, able to watch the race for himself.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great example for these guys to see someone from their part of the world on the MotoGP grid as well. You know, the point of the road to MotoGP is to take talent from their home country and give them, you know, sort of the rungs on the ladder for them to be able to climb up. So it's great to see someone sort of representing. And Wil van Erde, he could be one to watch today because he had a big crash on Friday, but then he really got back on the pace in qualifying, gained around 4 or 5 seconds throughout the qualifying session, and then put in a pretty good race 1.
And of course, Benjamin Baker, fellow Australian yesterday. Unfortunately, we did see him crash out in the highlights earlier on. He was absolutely distraught to crash out so soon in his Asia Talent Cup campaign. Fortunately, he was absolutely fine. He will be back out today. He is on the grid, ready to go for race 2. There's Daniel Sharil. Good finish from him yesterday as well. 9th place was the Malaysian. He was indeed the top Malaysian rider finisher. Speaking of obviously idols, obviously we have Hafiz Sharin in the MotoGP class, someone he'll be looking up to, of course, and setting his eye on for a future, perhaps a Malaysian MotoGP star of the future. Only time will tell. Definitely,
and after Hafiz Sharin's qualifying yesterday, I think he's yeah, definitely one to watch, and these guys will definitely be watching him.
Absolutely. Now, on the grid, you can see lots of riders are quite nervous. We were taking a look at the riders in pit lane, preparing to go out on their sighting lap. And Super Mario Aji was the only rider sat down his bike, really concentrating, head right inside the fairing almost. I mean, I don't think he was doing a technical inspection of his own, Fran. I think he was just trying to focus his mind completely, whilst other riders standing around, shuffling their feet, preparing mentally their own way, yeah, I'm sure Mario Aji will be going for one place better today. He'll be pretty miffed, having missed out on a potential first win yesterday.
Yeah, definitely. He looked pretty focused and ice cold despite the heat down in pit lane, so I think he'll definitely now know he's got the pace to stay with Noguchi, and he might have learned some lessons from yesterday tactically that he'll want to put in place today.
Absolutely. So, as you can see, the conditions are far better today than they were yesterday. Blue skies, not the murky sand and dust-filled skies that we had yesterday with that sandstorm all around. Heat wave, of course. We are in the desert, ready to go. Engines are being readied on the starting grid. We're about to get underway with the warm-up lap. Just about now, I guess, adrenaline will be nearly peaking, ready to go. Let's see if poor Agung Fakhrul will actually get going. Yesterday, around about now, he was waving his arms at his mechanic, saying, "Help me! I need to get it going." There's Hiroshi Oyama, former 250cc world champion, the Japanese rider, looking on at riders of the future. There is Fakhrul, as we were just mentioning, keeping that engine revved. No stalling it today, please.
Yeah, he's definitely really focused on one thing first today, isn't he? Just getting away from the line.
Getting the basics. He could be past his CPT just about now if he's not going to be stalling it off the line. He'll have to go back and practice starts at the traffic lights, maybe back home in Indonesia. Poor lad. But anyways, we're ready to go. The riders are taking off on their warm-up lap, followed by, of course, the safety car. Let's see how we get going. Yesterday, of course, lots of these riders, they've been together for quite a long time throughout the pre-season testing period, and they will know each other from the selection campaign last year. Some good camaraderie we saw on the, well, I thought we saw camaraderie. You disagree, Fran, on the warm-up lap. Some riders shaking hands, and I thought they were high-fiving. Fran thinks it was a bit more intimidating than
I think possibly it was a little more Petrucci, Alicia Spargaro from earlier in the MotoGP weekend. But we'll see, you know, they had great sportsmanship after the flag. You know, the two guys who duelled all the way out to the end, shaking hands, and it was, yeah, really good, clean fight.
Yeah, really, for such youngsters, full of ambition and adrenaline. It was, I must admit, I was a little bit surprised to see just how excellently neat the racing was yesterday. That overtakes you. The only slight bit where we put our hands over our mouths yesterday was right at the line where they got super close. But yes, fortunately, all okay. Some very tough but clean racing yesterday, which is what we want to see.
Yeah, definitely, exactly. There's nothing too crazy, nothing kind of purposefully crazy. No. Few dive bomb moves, obviously, you know, getting it a little bit wrong, judging it a little bit extreme, but yeah, no, it was all good, and nothing too dramatic, just the right amount of drama to create a great race.
Absolutely. Surely got to be one of the greatest racing series on the planet. You're never ever short of excitement in the Asia Talent Cup. There's the championship standings to the right of your screen. Obviously, we've only had one race, so therefore the championship standings are just the same results from yesterday. 25 points to Noguchi, Aji with the 20, Nishimura with 16, and Sendra with 13. It's a long, long road ahead in the championship, so the guys further down the order won't be worrying too much. You can never win the championship in the first round or first race for that matter, but you can definitely go quite a long way to hampering your chances, can't you, Fran?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, although the pressure ramps up towards the end of every season and every series, every race is worth the same. It's also, you know, how you manage that psychologically can play a big part. But, you know, these guys, they know that it could play a role come the end of the year, but they also know it's early days.
Yeah, there is your pole man on the screen, coming round the final corner to line up on the grid. Right about now, goodness me, I'm feeling nervous. I cannot imagine how these fellas are feeling. A range of riders from, well, 13 to 17 here, or a bit older, up to 20. They're only very, very young. That's why it's the beginning of the road to MotoGP. We'll see what happens here today. Warm-up lap completed. Nothing else you can do other than race now. The lap times don't matter. The qualifying results don't matter as much. An incredibly long straight here at Qatar, over a kilometre. You can barely get to the end of it while running. It's lots of time to get in the slipstream, make that work for each rider. We saw yesterday slipstreams played a huge part. The key thing will be to get away and not let any one rider, or any two riders for that matter, as we saw yesterday, get away, to work together to make sure no one runs away with the victory and we get a photo finish between a whole group of riders. Here we go. The red flag leaves the track. The green flag waves at the rear. Lights are about to come on and then go swiftly out once again. We're racing once again. Look at the propulsion away from the pole man, Backrell. Oh, what if it didn't quite work out for him, the extra leg power. Maybe he needs to get down the gym a little more. But it's number 7, Mario Aji, who leads the way into the first corner. Are they all going to get safely through? 3 riders abreast there in the first corner. That was Nishimura on the outside there. Of course, recognising with that bright green helmet there as well. Down into turn 2, you must be very careful here. Left side of a left-hand turn. Catches lots of riders out, not just in this class, but throughout, even into MotoGP as well.
Yeah, definitely. So these two guys, again, got the best start and ahead at the front. The guys behind them will want to catch them as soon as possible and try and make sure they can't do what they did yesterday.
Absolutely. Van Aert there, great start from him into 3rd. Really pleased to see for a rider who didn't look as though he was actually going to compete today. This is where we nearly had the moment yesterday, a near torpedo move, but seems as though they're safely all through.
Yeah, it got a bit wild there yesterday. Today it looks like they're a little bit more calm, under control, you know.
Keep calm, please. Keep calm, everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. But it is Noguchi out front, followed by Aji. Of course, we were commentating on their racing styles yesterday. Very, very neat one from Aji, and a bit more classical style from Noguchi.
Yeah, definitely. It's lovely to watch them, and again, it looks like they're going to already be able to pull out a gap if the other guys aren't careful, but it's such a great duel yesterday. We can't complain if we get a similar one today. Absolutely not.
It doesn't really matter. It's quality over quantity there. That's the surety there. A couple of bike lengths between them and 3rd place already. Let's see if they can actually catch them. Number 19 there, Bill Van Aert. They got the group behind them as one of them goes on the rumble strip there. That was Fackrell running a little bit wide. Hopefully he keeps the rubber side down. They're not going too wide. Of course, you don't want to exceed track limits. You can do it if it's a complete accident. But if you're doing it too many times and it looks intentional, the race direction will be having a bit of a chat with you. Coming round to complete the first lap then. Time to tuck in and get in the slipstream. Not quite enough of a gap for the front 2 to get away just yet, but Van Aert needs to keep it fully pinned and fully tucked in all the way to make sure they don't pull out any kind of a lead as we go down into turn 1. We saw Noguchi very difficult to overtake on the brakes. Here's Van Aert comes up the inside of both of them nearly. Takes Aji up the inside. Class move from there. Well, Aji did seem to struggle down into turn 1 yesterday.
Yeah, a little bit. I think that's where we saw Noguchi was a bit stronger yesterday, and Van Aert is obviously pretty on the ball with the tactics here, and he knows if he wants to really fight for this win, he has to get up there and get past them, or at least get in a fight with them as soon as he can.
He is not looking to wait to hang about here. He's going trying to go up the inside of Noguchi already. Fackrell there in 4th, still with Sender just behind him. Hey, this is great. Hopefully these two don't get away again, then that's what a race we're in for now with 13 laps to go. 2 minutes per lap, just over. So a good, 26 minutes to go. What on earth is going to transpire? Who knows? Well,
yeah, looks like the front group at the moment pretty much in line, managing to stay together.
And there he is, Van Aert up the inside of Noguchi into 1st. Excellent stuff from him. Is he, well, he doesn't want to hang around. Clearly he thinks he's got the pace to lead and take everybody out there. We'll see how long Noguchi lets him do that for. Yesterday he was not happy one little bit with Aji trying to get away from him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yesterday Noguchi wanted to be the guy in front consistently. Every time he was overtaken, took him back pretty quickly. So I expect he may do the same today as well. So on board with him. Yeah, there we go. Already pulling the move to get back in the lead. But obviously Van Erde, if he thinks he's got the pace, or even if he just knows tactically, yeah, straight back.
Straight back. Yeah, that's the price you pay when you go up the inside, lose a bit of corner speed, lose the angle, and up the inside Van Erde goes again. Cracking stuff. Front's a little bit wide there. Will Noguchi get him back into the right-hand corner? No. Hey, this is great stuff already. Keep this up, lads.
It is definitely. Van Erde is obviously, you know, he's really hanging it all out there to stay up at the front with these guys. But it's just great, you know. It's great for someone to be ahead of them and really taking the fight to them.
Yeah, that's unfortunately we're seeing Baker just in the back of your screens there, right at the back of the field, struggling to keep on after his crash yesterday. He won't be happy at all. But here's Noguchi pulling out from Van Erde just there from behind him, going across the line. He's of course taking the lead, and Fackrell just behind him into third. 4 abreast as they come into turn 1, but Noguchi maintains it. Will he run wide?
Yeah, all 3 of those guys over the line set the fastest lap, but in the end it was Fackrell who took it, being the third one of them across. So pace is pretty hot, and yeah, it's a good fight at the moment. Shout out to Lucky Hendriansha at the moment, who's in 8th. He had a really tough race yesterday, and he's one of the returners in the field, so he'll want to be taking a step forward this year. But he's going much better, and in front of actually last race podium finish in Nishimura.
Just got a replay there, and that was Van Erde running quite wide there, a bit maybe too wide. He might get some kind of instruction from race direction. We'll see. But he maintains his position at the front by now. We see number 5 looking up the inside there in the pursuing group. As they confirmed there on your screen, fastest lap last time around for Fackrell. He will be a lot more pleased today, maybe a lot less frustrated, having actually kept his position on pole position and took off from there with this front group already, although masterclass of a ride for him yesterday to actually get back up the front after starting essentially from last. Yeah,
definitely, it was incredible. He started right from the back, and on the end of lap 1 he was in 11th already, so he did a lot of work on that first lap and then made up the rest of the places on the road. But today he'll be pretty chuffed that he's been able to stay up there with the leaders from the off.
Absolutely, coming round the left-hander into this triple right-hander. 3 separate corners, of course. With these guys, they can afford to lift the bike up a little bit. If you see in the Premier Class MotoGP, they just make it look like one entire corner as they loop around. Van Erde keeps it tight there, but he doesn't want to leave the door open coming into the right-hander, the penultimate turn here. And he's got to watch out as they come round to the final corner and then onto the front and start and finish straight. Getting in the slipstream. This is a good group of 5 or so riders. I think we can say they're behind number 4 there. We do have 2 riders just a little bit behind there, and that's number 5. Number 5 Boasi just struggling there as we come over the start and finish straight. Some slipstream action we got going on here, and that's Aji pulling out to the right side of the track. They're weaving all over the place. We can't tell who's side by side, but it's Van Erde who managed to keep it overall into the first turn. Yeah, it's always amazing slipstreaming when you've got a group of them as well. Obviously, the guys at the back can gain an awful lot when there's such a large amount of air being displaced, and it's getting pretty crazy out there now. Aji takes the place into first, whilst the other riders behind them seem to catch up. It looks like we've got a whole group there of 8 riders, Yes, 7 riders at the front, in the front group, taken there. Van Erde moves up the inside of Aji once again. But will he run wide and Aji take him on the inside, just as Van Erde did with Noguchi a couple of laps ago? On board with Noguchi right now as he takes second place with Aji. Fan, I don't really know where to look. I know, it's getting pretty crazy now with a big group at the front, but yeah, onboards are just so cool. It's awesome that you can get them as well in the Asia Talent Cup and really go on board with the riders and see how that fight looks from the inside. Oh, as Noguchi goes up the inside there, we saw Van Erde. Have we decided how we're gonna pronounce it yet today?
Van Erde, I would say Erde.
Van Erde. I'm not sure how my voice can actually cope with that, but Van Erde ran a little bit wide though on the exit. He just has a moment there. Noguchi goes up the inside once again as Van Erde tries to give him as good as he gets. Goodness me. Yeah, it definitely looks like he's really pushing to take it to those guys at the front. So,
yeah, few moments, few little, not, you know, out of track limits too much, but obviously, like you said earlier, he needs to be a bit careful with that. And
oh, we do have a rider down there. That is Troy Alberto from the Philippines. Unfortunately, he is down and out of the race, but oh dear, that's a little bit of a repair job. But fortunately, no more races for them this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. They've got a while to sort that out now, and rider looks okay, which is obviously always the main thing.
Exactly. Just looking down our timesheets, Nishimura, 3rd place yesterday. You can see in the background there, number 3. He is just leading the 2nd group here. Well, he's going to be trying to close the gap to these top 7 riders. Hey, it's great to see 7 riders. This is the Asia Talent Cup we've come to know and love. We're in the slipstream right now on board with Noguchi again. He's closing in on Aji in front of him, who in turn has pulled out from Van Erde, as Noguchi just takes them both across the finish line into 1st. How will we cope with the braking zone down into turn 1? It's Fackrell who's in the lead already. Oh my goodness. What a move for Fackrell. All these riders in one go.
Yes, shuffles pretty quick down there into turn 1. Oh. And I think it's quite hard to tell from some camera angles as well. You just got to wait for them to shuffle around at the apex and see who's in front.
Poor Aji has been absolutely mugged there, as we can see what looks like some debris on the track. Maybe that is where we saw Troy go down in the lap before, perhaps. A very tall rider is Troy. Big
yes,
frame.
Definitely. There's a few. There's quite a big age range here, and in that kind of time when you're really growing into yourself. So you get some taller, some shorter. But
very good
yeah.
to yourself. That sounds a bit unhealthy.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That thing that you're yet to do.
Hey, there we go. You and Neil both the same. We have Fackrell out front. He will be absolutely ecstatic with that pole positioning. He's now leading far better than yesterday. As we're looking at Noguchi there, that's Bill Van Erde we were looking at there. Just sorry, number 19. Of course, you have to remember Noguchi's number 9 there. Fackrell still takes the lead as it's Aji just almost trying to break with his boots there, dragging it along the floor. That did not look comfortable at all.
It really didn't. That was a bit wild, you know. He's pretty smooth and he looks pretty in control, but that was definitely a little on the wilder side. Yeah, we were complimenting him yesterday, just saying how that looked like a very Max Biaggi-esque 250cc style of riding he's got. Very, very neat indeed, tucked in behind the screen, but that was something unexpected from Aji. The Aji we come to know and love in the 40 minutes we commentated yesterday. Indeed. But no, going back to what you were saying about that 2nd group and Nishimura, he seems to just be starting to break away from them.
Yeah.
And obviously we saw yesterday, once he'd managed to do that from the group yesterday, he really made some good progress. So he'll be wanting to close in on these guys, which of course is much harder when you're on your own trying to get back in the slipstream.
Just as we see Fackrell got mugged coming into the final corner with Noguchi back up the inside. There's some more movement there. We have another rider down. That's Naoki Yamada. Looks as though he's probably got a bit of an injured tailbone there. He's holding it perhaps. But other than that, he looks okay. Walking away. Is that Fackrell going nearly on the grass, or at least on the dusty part of the circuit? Well, I'm not sure this is Mario Kart, so you can't be doing sort of things like that to pull off your opponents, as Aji goes into 1st in the 1st corner there.
Yeah, around the outside, taking over in the lead again. Let's see what he can do now. If he'll be wanting now to probably try and start to make a gap and get out of this fight, because it's getting a little bit hairy in places.
He will absolutely be wanting to make a gap. Here's a replay of Fackrell. Does he actually go? He goes on the AstroTurf. Boy, what are you doing? Oh my goodness. Please just keep it on the tarmac, lads. This is just... Look at the onboard. It's even worse. Oh, my goodness.
Luckily, we're at one of the driest racetracks in the world, except for the race weekend last year, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Aji dragging that foot once again. Oh, my goodness. Fackrell. Well...
Are you okay?
No, I thought Supercross was last night, not here at Guitar. Goodness gracious me. Aji takes it, maintains it into 1st with Van Erde behind him in 2nd. Hey, that's Sender up into 3rd now. Good stuff from him. Of course, with Munandar in 5th. Fackrell, well, unfortunately, going on the grass is not an advantage, clearly, young man, because now you're down in 6th.
Yeah, he definitely got pretty mugged there, losing the traction of being on the actual racing surface of tarmac. So, yeah, I think he'll be avoiding that from now on.
Well, you hope so. I mean, mistakes are fine. As long as you get away with them and then you learn from them.
Exactly, definitely. Mantra for life there, not just for the Idemitsu Asia Talent Cup.
Yep, and we're not just commentary here, we're providing life advice at will for all the lovely listeners out there listening on YouTube and Facebook, and of course on MotoGP.com as well. That goes a little bit wide there again. that was a bit too wide. That was not indeed an accident, but I guess he didn't really gain too much from an advantage there.
Yeah, he'll have to be careful. He'll definitely have to be careful. I know in the MotoGP class, I think it's a second that you have to go slower in the sector. During race, obviously, qualifying, etc., the lap's simply deleted. But I don't know what it would be for these guys, because a second is a bit of a different amount of time for these guys. But yeah, they'll have to be a bit careful. And again, they're really close to that.
They're really pushing the limits here. And on the straight, I mean, we normally talk about pushing the limits in the corner, braking as late as possible, saving it on your elbow, Marc Marquez style. But these guys are doing it on the straight. Ascender is in the lead, going into turn 1. The number 10 having a great ride. The 14-year-old. Excellent stuff. But as we've just seen over the last laps, I can't believe it's 8 laps to go. Doesn't stand for much if you're first right now. More riders going wide there.
Yeah, really wide there. They're lucky to have slotted straight back in where they were there, not lost out too much, but getting a bit crazy.
They're starting to take the Michael here a little bit, aren't they?
A little bit. I
think Race Direction will be having a little chat with them, or Alberto Puig, the boss man, will be giving them a stern talking to. And I tell you what, that is not a man you want a stern talking to.
Well, definitely not, definitely not.
Oh, this looked like Sender was going a little bit too close for comfort up on the river of Van Erde there. Runs a bit wide, loses his place to Noguchi.
Yeah, definitely. He'll be wanting to go one better today, because he was just off the podium yesterday, and it was only 3 thousandths over the line that Sender took 4th yesterday. So he'll be feeling pretty confident about his pace and his prospects around this circuit now. But he'll want to really take a step up now and get on the rostrum, as you can see. Pretty much right in the thick of it with yesterday's race winner, and then Van Erde, who's obviously feeling a lot better after his crash on Friday, straight back on it.
Yeah, Noguchi takes Van Erde up the inside again there, but runs wide on the exit. Van Erde straight back up the inside of him. I love that long sweeping left-hander. We were watching some of the Moto2 riders there yesterday, even Moto3 riders, and it's just keeping it pinned through there. It looks so good. Haruki Noguchi on board right now, following Van Erde. Sender still maintains. He's having a little wobble there. That was a bit of a... Well, how on earth did that happen coming out of that corner? Maybe running on into a little bit of a dusty part of the circuit. Noguchi was looking up the inside briefly there of Van Erde, but we're coming around the final corner once again. Got to fire it out into the start and finish straight, tuck in the slipstream. Oh, okay, we're going alongside him. Forget the slipstream. He's just going to power straight through past him. We're getting ever so close to the AstroTurf again. Please stay off the AstroTurf. But as we were noticing earlier, actually, number 5 there's Boasi just tailing off the back of this front group. And also, we noticed Nishimura has actually lost out to Agius. Although them two are going it alone in the chase down of the front group.
Yeah, definitely. I thought Nishimura might make a bit more progress now, but he's back in another little battle there. So it looks like he's probably going to be out of podium contention today. So his campaign will start with 1 podium.
Having said that, just looking at our screens now, he's managed to dispatch number 12 there, and he's on the fight already. That was pretty quick in the space of the 3 corners.
Yeah, definitely.
The 3 corners we're writing him off. He's right back in it nearly.
The gap is around 1.5 seconds between those two in the group ahead. So if they can really gain from these guys all fighting at the front, obviously they won't be going as fast. And we've got another new leader with Sender back in the lead. So.
Well, Noguchi's not having any of it.
He's really not. It obviously wasn't tactics in a 2-man show yesterday. He just wants to be at the head of the race.
Yeah, these guys don't know teamwork just yet on the beginning of this road to MotoGP. They're all in it for themselves.
Absolutely. That can also be an interesting thing with these guys. Oh, big
Sender
wobble
again.
there
He was
for
having
Sender.
a wobble there earlier, wasn't he, as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Menandar coming up the inside. He now leads. That's his first time in the lead, we believe, today. The number 4.
Yeah,
it is
indeed.
The blue helmet there. Cracking stuff from him, but Noguchi don't want to let him have it. Who's that up the inside? It's that Van Erde, 4th to 2nd. Awesome.
It's really good stuff now. These guys really getting stuck in, aren't they? And there's still 7 laps to go, or 6.5. It's just incredible, all the way to the line. There's no sort of waiting for the last lap and then make your move and then see where you come out. But it's just a bit crazy all the way through,
This is why we love the Asia Talent Cup.
It is indeed. It is, in fact, WorldSBK commentator Stephen English's favourite worldwide racing series for exactly this reason.
There you go. There you go. One of the best racing series in the world. There was your pole position man. Who's that? That's Sender going wide again on the exit. Van's a little bit all over the place.
Definitely. I think so far most of them, you know, there's not been too many repeat offenders, so they should be okay. But as a group, it's getting a little bit wild.
Yeah, as a collective, I think track limits have been exceeded a few too many times. This group going nearly 4 abreast into the first corner. Van Erde keeps the lead, though. He's cracking on the brakes. He is.
He's also pretty little, so he can really get tucked in and gain a lot there.
Pretty little.
Pretty little. I know. I don't know what happened to my northernness there. Pretty little. He's pretty little. He is.
Anyways, Van Erde maintains the lead. Menandar just behind him still, and the number 4. Good stuff from him. Yesterday, not a bad result either.
Yeah, it's
Menandar, he was 6th yesterday.
Yeah, he was in that fight for 4th behind the podium, where there's a group of them all within sort of 2.5 tenths, really close over the line.
Van Erde just ran a little bit too wide.
Yeah, he's going to have to be careful.
Yeah,
I said no, not too many repeat offenders. I think I'm going to take that back now. We have a repeat offender that needs to be a little bit careful.
Slap on the wrist for him after this race finishes,
Definitely.
I guess.
As you can see, super useful. The 2 guys ahead of the race now have the same helmet design as well, which really helps us out a lot.
Hey, great. You guys just thinking of us the whole time.
It's fantastic. 19 and number 9, exactly the same helmet almost. Thanks very much.
Yeah, I think people can forgive us for maybe getting that wrong 1 or 2 times. We'll have to try and judge them by the riding style. As oh, that's Menandar taking them both into the left-hander. Good stuff from him. Quality over.
Yeah, that was really quality. Looked like it might be a little hairy, but no, it was really great. Really shut that down, got it done.
Yeah, don't even
but
think about
it's
going
not going to last very long.
Lines. No, there he goes, straight back into 3rd again, poor fella. He got no, you don't, they say. Haruki Noguchi on board with him, looking at the rear of Van Erde as our timing screens just adjust. Fackel goes back to 6th again. Only 6 laps to go. I swear it felt like an eternity ago.
Oh, there we go. A little bit off there on the green.
But yeah, Noguchi loses out there. He's now down into 4th. Van Erde, that's 2nd for him. Just inside cover all over the place. Aji back up into a podium place, running it wide on the entry to the final turn. That's super ice cool 250cc style there. He's going to be tucking in.
I feel like we've made a name for him here. I think that the ice cool thing could have legs for the season.
Ice cool Super Mario.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, maybe. Oh, they're getting a little bit close there. Thank goodness for the front brake protectors. That was a little bit close. How many abreast do you want going into the first turn? Who's going to get it? My money's on Noguchi or Van Erde, and there you go, 1st and 2nd. Hey, I actually know what I'm talking about.
Good call, good call.
1st and last one, to be sure. Oh dear, Noguchi into 1st. A couple of bike lengths for him there. This is the same as we saw yesterday. He was absolute class in that first section.
Definitely. Oh, we had another one out there wide a little bit. They're definitely taking a few more liberties today. Maybe, you know, they've got 1 race under the belts, and now they're doing what they want.
Taking a few more liberties, but taking no prisoners in this class.
Good one. I like it. I like it.
No prisoners indeed. Absolutely nobody allowed to get away. Hey, that's good to see Nishimura. Nishimura and just behind him, the guys catching up.
Yeah, those 2 guys are kind of, you know, they're now a little bit closer. They've cut down a couple of tenths. And although you can see having a look as well. It's Boisi at the back of that group having a quick look back, and then Sender's done the fastest lap last time around, but obviously it's such a squabble on the main straight. You know, they're so close together, the fastest lap. It's important, and, you know, it's nice for them, a little bit of a reward for the hard work, but it changes every lap, and that's pretty close from Aji going through there.
Just up the inside there. Getting a bit close. Aji, fortunately, I haven't seen him for a couple of laps stick his leg out and grind the bottom of his boots away. But actually back up into 4th place now.
Yeah, he's a little bit quieter for a few laps there as the guys really right at the front of this group are fighting out, but maybe he's trying to make some progress now.
Hey, these guys need to watch it because it looks like Van Erde and Noguchi just edging out a few bike lengths from these guys. They don't want to be fighting too hard at the moment.
Exactly.
Otherwise, these 2 are going to get away with 5 laps to go.
Exactly. Like we were saying, the front group as a whole fighting, really helping the guys behind catch them up, but if these group splits up, they have the same issue as well. They've got to be careful about that. I guess Aji will be thinking about that and trying to get to the front of it and close them down again. Yeah,
just looking in the back of the picture, that was Boisri being caught by Nishimura there. He's going to use him as a slipstream to go down the straight. Hey, that is a sizable gap between Sender in the front 2, Noguchi and Van Erde, as Van Erde takes it. He's the first to lead over the line, but will Noguchi, these 2 great breakers into this first turn. Who's going to blink first? It was Van Erde as Noguchi, just a little bit later than him, into the first turn. We said it before, say it again. The man's class into turn 1.
Definitely. I think he'll be a little bit miffed that the start-finish line isn't just after turn 1, to be honest, because that's the part of the track where he really has it down.
He would have it absolutely wrapped up, signed off. Thank you very much. Taking that trophy home with me in my hand luggage, if that was the case.
Well, he's got 1 trophy, so I'm not sure if both of them would fit in the hand luggage.
No, he's probably going to have to put them in the hold, and I dread to think what the baggage handlers might do to them. bit of a tangent there, but here we go. The top group, there's only just 6 of them now, as Nishimura's making inroads in on them, still behind. How close is he to those guys off the front? Nishimura are just, well...
It's about 1.6 last time around, but I think it's changed a little bit again. The timing screen just takes a few minutes to update. Well, not minutes, a few moments to update, so we'll have to have a look next time.
Absolutely. Hey, Noguchi is trying to check out here.
Definitely, yeah. He'll know, I think, now that the group's getting a little bit further apart. He'll want to take that chance and really pedal to the metal. Look, he's really, stretching it out. 3/10 now.
Yeah, exactly. That's he is not hanging around. Can Van Aert stick with him? The man who was injured earlier on this weekend. Didn't think he was even going to race, but there he was yesterday, raced, and again he is today, fighting up the front end for winning honours and bragging rights, at least if he gets on the podium.
Definitely, yeah. He's looked like he's closed in again. Yep, you can see their new gap again, but also it's a significant amount of time you need to gain to be out of the slipstream by the time you get on the main straight. So really you have to be making huge progress by the time you get out the final corner to be able to escape that slipstream effect from the guys chasing you.
Exactly, as we're seeing Sender and Aji just behind them, having their own little battle for third again. Don't want to be doing that too much, as we said very recently before. Don't be battling it out too much, otherwise those front two are going to completely get away, and that gap looks a little bit bigger than it was last time around, Fran.
Yeah, definitely. We've got 3 mini groups now in this front group. It's split up into 3 duos, but we'll see what happens into turn 1.
And again, who's going to blink first? We've got Noguchi just behind Van Erde, and Van Erde looks as though he blinks first again. Noguchi just behind him, slams on the brake a little bit more. Ooh.
Getting pretty close there, pretty close. And as you can see, that lap was so close on the timesheets as well, just 7 thousandths difference.
Ridiculous. Great stuff in the Asia Talent Cup. One of the best racing series in the world. As Noguchi takes it just a little bit wide, almost on the green stuff there. Loses a bit of drive as Van Erde maintains the first position. Good to see Sender and Aji maybe closing up a little bit behind them.
Yeah, it looks like it's closed in a little bit more, doesn't it? Obviously, it seems to change by camera angle, and I'm always scared to call it completely, but definitely they've made a lot of progress. They're getting there.
We just saw Noguchi there, taking a quick look behind him. He did that yesterday as well, looking around at Aji. He's a looker behind her, he is. You don't want to be doing that too much. Focus on what's ahead of you and don't worry about what's behind you so much.
Definitely, and it would be pretty disappointed, I think, to see the guy who took him to the wire yesterday right behind him again.
Absolutely. Van Erde and Noguchi battling it out. Is this going to be a two-way duel to the line with 3 laps to go? Don't think so. Aji's coming up behind them. Looks as though we got a 4-way battle. Hopefully another photo finish. Yes, today was 0.034 seconds across the line. What's your bets for today, Frank? Give me a numerical number.
A numerical number?
I'm just kidding. But
I'd rather give you an alphabetical number.
Yeah, okay, excellent, indeed.
I don't know, I think it's going to be pretty close. I don't think it's going to be a duel, though. I think hopefully we're going to see some fireworks between these guys in a bigger group on the last lap, but, you know, I could be very, very wrong.
Absolutely. Just a reminder there, number 19, number 9, helpfully wearing the same helmets just to make identification a little bit more difficult for us. Number 9, Noguchi, and number 19, Van Erde. Hey, that's Aji right on their tails right now. Will Aji go up the inside at the final corner? No. He's going to stay in their slipstream for this straight. Will he manage to get them on the straight? Quite possibly. But as we saw earlier, he's unlikely to get him into the first turn. Yeah,
absolutely. And now you can see Noguchi really close here, tucked in.
Struggling to... It's just slightly working now as he goes up the inside of him. Oh, he had to react pretty quickly there, didn't he?
Yeah, pretty close
and
there.
Who's that? That's Sender up the inside into first. He's back in the game. Class move as Aji goes into third. Who is that back into fourth now? That is Van Erde.
Yeah, so we're back in a group again. Obviously, we missed that with the onboard, and you can see really the guy ahead of us. But that slipstream, yep, it's pretty impossible to break unless your lap times are significantly quicker than everyone else. So we've got another good group again.
Yeah.
And those guys on the chase, Fackrell is now about a second back. So from the lead, that is, and it's getting pretty close again. I think there's a good chance they might be able to close them in.
I'll tell you what, on this year's ATC quartet, about to come a quintet. Was there
big moment for Aji.
A huge moment under braking. Nearly, does it get stopped? You're going to give me a heart attack, let alone him. Goodness me. Aji, that's surely him out of the contention for the race. Well, he's not too far back, but you can't really give these guys anything. That's a good second they got there now.
Yeah, definitely. He's not too far back, but the time is running out. And now we've got a lap and a half. Well, you know, almost 2 laps to go.
We're on to the final countdown. No, I'm not going to sing the lyrics. Sender maintains it out front with Noguchi just behind him, with Aji's wild braking maneuver there. They've even managed to edge a gap out from Van Erde and also Munandar. I was saying, just as Aji had a moment, this quartet had become a quintet, with Munandar just joining them, but now it's again, it looks like a duo with 2 guys still pursuing behind us. Sender has a moment on the exit there.
Yeah, you definitely see Noguchi seems pretty solid here, and a few of the other guys are a little bit wild, a couple of moments running a little bit wide, so I think Noguchi seeing that as well would be pretty heartened. And yeah,
Noguchi was so close behind Sender there, you couldn't even see him until he pulled out the slipstream. Noguchi looking on the outside of him as we come in to the final turn, slipstreaming, a final lap coming up. What on earth's going to happen here? We got a triplet, a three-way duel for the line as they're all over the front straight as they touch, going down there elbow to elbow, literally. That was Sender and Noguchi. No quarter given by these guys. Please don't do that too much, lads. That's just too much for my little heart to handle. It's not very good at the moment.
I can see, wow. I can confirm physically the reaction was also impressive.
Yeah. Hands waving everywhere in this commentary box. We can't cope with what's going on here. That's Noguchi going wide there. That last lap, fastest rider there was Sender. Hey, that's gaps eked out between Van Erde out front and then Noguchi. Sender, he's got to close it in, but as we know, in the first part of this track, that's where Noguchi and Van Erde have been particularly strong.
Yeah, you can see a concertina effect in some parts. They're getting a bit closer, a little bit further, a little bit closer, but now, of course, they can't gain on the slipstream really next time around, only on the drag to the line.
Yeah, exactly, and they can't be breaking down into turn 1 either to make their move, because it's before as well as turn 1. So Aji in the background there, along with 4 Munandar. They are out of the battle for first, it seems, as we're about halfway round the final lap here of the second race of round 1 of the Asia Talent Cup. Oh, goodness me.
I think barring any drama for these guys now, we know who's going to be on the podium. Yep. It's just deciding the order.
Van Erde holds first with Noguchi just behind him, stalking him all the way, tucking in on this long left-hander. Will anyone make a move into the 3 rights we got coming up next?
I think Noguchi's thinking about it. He's certainly close enough.
Hey, I think he wants to be behind him coming onto the start and finish straight, don't you, perhaps?
Very possibly, very possibly. Although Van Erde's the one who's tried that so far and did manage to get ahead by the line.
Exactly. Well, we don't know. He could have been just testing him, see how the slipstream would work, holding back, didn't want to call to give it. Sender's given up on the battle for first. He was looking behind there, almost throwing up. That's him out. He's given up.
Yeah, that's a pretty weird place to do that. You want to be looking ahead on the last lap, always.
That's a questionable choice. Here we are, final turn, Fran. Who's going to get it? Noguchi's behind Van Erde. It's going to be another photo finish. Second, you got to tuck in, lads. Noguchi's going up the inside. Please don't go on the AstroTurf again. My poor heart can't take it. They're neck and neck. Who's going to get it? It's Noguchi's going to go across the line. And Noguchi or Van Erde takes it at the line. It was Van Erde, called it wrong. He did it. He's from injury to maybe not even taking part in the race. He's won the second race of round 1, and my voice is going. Brian, take it away.
That was incredible. Even closer than yesterday. So it's 0.013 across the line. And you're right, from that angle, it looked like Noguchi was just going to take it incredibly close to the AstroTurf there.
I don't think he's even knows that he's won, do you?
I do. Well, I mean, it's always difficult, like we saw last year, even for the whole cup. It was Dennis Onsi didn't realise he was champion until halfway around the cooldown lap.
Well, that's Sender there. Congratulated Van Erde, at least for what Van Erde considers top 2 at the absolute least. There's Noguchi. Our times aren't changing, are they? That was definitely Van Erde who got it. They still didn't know who won it. They're asking each other, don't know, mate. Did you win? No idea. Great race, though.
It's difficult. It's one of those things you often see riders looking at the big screens around the track in situations like this, and also, you know, like qualified lap times. times, etc. But yeah, they don't seem to really be that sure yet, so it's going to be an explosive celebration.
Yeah, they're all just going around calmly like, a bit awkward really. A good pat on the back there. That's the race winner and the runner-up there congratulating each other. The men with the two identical helmets. Cheers, lad. Oh, goodness me, fan, I'm out of breath. Can't cope with any of this.
I can tell, it's okay.
Oh,
you know,
dear.
Deep breaths, we're okay.
Yeah, we're all
Great
fine.
race.
We made it through. What a race, and hey, not many, only 2 riders out just to get nice, clean racing. Apart from those elbow to elbow, that's going to be a great stuff in the highlights later on.
Exactly, and that's good for Noguchi. I'm sure he will be disappointed that he's not done the double in the first round, but it's good for him in terms of the points, and it's great for Van Erder after a really tough start to his first weekend, because he's had good pace and testing, and he's got a lot of promise. It's great for him to get a win already and really take it to the guy who's considered the favourite.
Absolutely. Noguchi, of course, last year's runner-up. He will know just how important every point is in this championship, so I don't think not getting the double win will worry him too much. Of course, he's young and he wants those trophies, that first place trophy and the bragging rights, but long way to go. Yeah,
definitely, and last year that's the lesson he really learned: consistency. So that'll feel pretty good for him, I think.
Yeah, there's Sender just on your screens back there. Yesterday he was 4th, just off the podium, so good improvement for him today into 3rd. He'll be going home as a happy boy. Here we go, let's get a look at the replay. This will be the finishing replay. Noguchi just behind Van Erder, but hey, you called it. Noguchi couldn't overtake him on the start and finish straight in the slipstream.
Not quite. We saw that yesterday. It was Aji managing to just get Noguchi so close to the line.
God, he's nearly on the white line. I was sure he was ahead there.
He does look like it, but I think, yeah,
he just gets him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he just takes him back.
Did he find like an extra gear or something like that? Because he just propels just straight past him.
Well, he is a bit smaller, so he does have that on his side. But
exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's so close, so close. And they really gained a lot on Sender on that last lap. And it's great to see, look, you can see, did you win? Did you win? I don't know. Did you win?
Yeah, well, either that or it's the world's most understated celebration we've ever seen. Dear, oh dear, what a race that was anyways. Blimey, I'm out of breath. I'm going to go and recover and maybe get a cold flannel. Maybe a change of shirt as well after that race. Goodness gracious me. Welcome to the Asia Talent Cup. This is, as we just see the riders starting to come into Parc Ferme now. There is Van Erder. He looks like a happy boy. Does he know which position he's going to go into yet?
I don't know. We'll have to see. Hopefully they will get the 1 and 2 the right way around there.
He's going to come in and... I kind of hope we didn't get it wrong, and he does know he's won. It was just a very understated... Richard, he doesn't know! He doesn't know, does he? He's like, which one do I go to? You won, sir. Oh, great! Thank you!
Straight down the middle.
Excellent stuff. Look at everyone around there smiling. They all know what's happened. What a race that was. Sender, probably a little bit disappointed, but, well, no. A little bit disappointed maybe not to get the win. He was in the running for most of it, but no. Hey, Van Erder. It's a bit of an understated celebration, but hey, maybe
definitely maybe the ice cold for Super Mario was maybe I spoke too soon.
Just the entire class. These kids are just ice cold. they're like, I won, of course. That's why I'm here. I'm on the road to MotoGP. See you in a few years, Marquez.
I'm not sure they'd quite be giving it that, but no. Part of me hopes so.
Yeah, part of me really hopes so. Hey, great stuff. There is Noguchi on your screens now, dropping his glove, his drinks bottle.
That'll be nice and sticky there on the tank now.
Lovely. Excellent stuff. Fran, what do we say about the Asia Talent Cup? What a great start to the year this is. I mean, it is customary here, that long straight with the slipstream and the long flowing corners. This is, you do struggle not to get good racing here. Definitely.
And the great thing for these guys and for all of us is that it's back next weekend at Buriram in Thailand as part of the World Superbike Thai round. So, yeah, these guys don't have long until they go racing again, and there's another 50 points over the weekend available. Yeah, not a long time to recover for them. There's Jack Miller coming down to Parc Ferme as well to come and congratulate fellow Aussie Van Erder. Good stuff, mate. That's he's trying to get his attention. It's always nice to see you guys. Yeah, nice smile. Good job. It's pretty special for these guys as well. Like, we had this in yeah, Jonathan Ray as well, congratulating Dennis Onsu and all that. It's always really nice to see these guys take an interest and also come over and say, you know, hey, well done, good job.
There was a cracking photo on MotoGP's Instagram a couple of years ago. It's Dennis Onsu in his first year in the Asia Talent Cup. Came across Valentino Rossi. Rossi just finished his, was coming away from doing interviews, and there was Dennis Onsu. Poor little Dennis, you know how small he was, with his little chubby face, like smiling away, like, it's Valentino Rossi.
Yeah, pretty much the absolute polar opposites there.
Yeah, absolutely. There he is. He'll be absolutely over the moon with that win. What a ride that was indeed.
He still looks so collected.
Yeah,
too
what,
smooth for...
I'm pretty sure my face is redder than his, and my hair's a little bit more sweaty than his as well. The kid is ice cool.
But yeah, there you can see photographer Mauro getting all these Park Ferme shots.
Excellent. Now, of course, if you want to see highlights of this of the race, you can follow the Asia Talent Cup on its Facebook page, Asia Talent Cup on Twitter as well. Keep up with all the latest news of what these riders get up to and all the latest results, highlights, feature videos, and just how the road to MotoGP is ran. There's Hiroshi Oyama to the right of your picture, and Haruki Noguchi. Wow, that was a tongue twister and a half, wasn't it? Noguchi there, talking with Hiroshi Oyama, former 250cc world champion. He too. He looks a bit sort of understatedly happy with his race. Good weekend for him.
Yeah, definitely. These guys are, yeah, they're just so collected. It's great, and it was such a great race. And again, great handshakes, great show of respect afterwards, just the way you want it to be, and especially at the start of their careers.
Here you go. Here's an onboard of that finish again. Oh, let's have a look at this. There is absolutely no more room on that side of the track. But Van Erden just about to see, well, okay, you can't see it from the onboard, but he did get him. There he is going through. Look how close this is to the side of the track. We saw Fackrell there going off the track beforehand earlier in the race. But there we are. Look at this for a photo finish. Oh,
so close. So close.
Ridiculous. Well, here they are being shuffled towards the podium. Hey, Grand Prix podium for these guys.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I believe... Steve Day had the pick of Bill Van Erden for this race. MotoGP lead commentator Steve Day. He'll be pretty happy with that.
Here we are, the results then. Bill Van Erden wins it by 0.013 seconds from Haruki Noguchi, Toshiki Senda, Mario Aji. Munandar there in 5th place, good stuff from him. Agius Nishimura, a bit disappointing for him. He got 3rd yesterday. Fackrell will not be happy with that, I don't think, after starting from pole position. Daniel Sharrell, he was there in 10th place, fair 10 seconds back behind him. A nice little group of riders there. And of course, we had 2 non-finishers today, including Troy Alberto. But all okay from those guys. Fran, awesome stuff.
Yep, great race, and you get it all again in only a week at Buriram in Thailand. And so going into that, we've got Noguchi obviously in the head of the championship with a win and a 2nd. And now Van Erden's taken over in 2nd from Aji, but it's only a point there, and these guys are still super close. And then Senda's got 4th, and Nishimura isn't too far back. He'll be okay with that. And then obviously right down to Troy Alberto did score a point yesterday, then didn't get one today, and Thai rider Nitipang Sang Soang got 1 point already on the board. So that's good for these guys and good for the rookies.
Excellent stuff, absolutely. You've been working on those pronunciations there, huh?
I tried my best. Honestly, I just barreled into it and hoped, and I think it came out okay.
Absolutely. Here we are onto the podium. Hey, that was very enthusiastic there from Senda. Good old jump. You don't want to be with caution jumping on the podium. You see 2 familiar MotoGP, Moto2 and Moto3 riders stack it at that point.
Definitely.
Here we go, and there is Noguchi there taking 2nd spot, and Bill Van Erden onto the podium. Great win from him. How awesome is this? MotoGP Grand Prix of Qatar and the Asia Talent Cup kicking us off. There's the 3rd place trophy presented to Senda.
You can really see the height difference here with Van Erden. Not that much taller than Noguchi, even despite being on the top step.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that's probably how he managed to speed past him. 2nd place trophy for Noguchi. Get your photo there, nice and smiley. There we are.
Another one for the hand luggage.
Yeah. Yeah, I really don't trust those with bagged tarantulas, do you? And Van Erden gets his trophy. An understated celebration there. Ice cool, this kid. Like him. Awesome stuff. Now we wait for the race winners' national anthem.
So there we have it, race 2.
Bill van Erden takes victory, and how many times are we going to hear the Australian national anthem ring out this year in the Asia Talent Cup? Well, I suspect that's not going to be the last time.
Yeah, definitely. After a race like that, he'll be hoping to put in a few more performances throughout the season. Great start to the year for these guys.
Hey, not gonna lie, those are cool trophies.
They are
That's
cool
gonna stick out on your shelf at home, isn't it? How many? Here we are. Get another replay of that. That's not quite the finish there, is it? Nope, not quite the finish there. But there you go. This is it. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you again in a week's time for round 2 of the Asia Talent Cup, the Chang International Circuit.